Awesome. We are live. Good afternoon. We are live in this nonprofit budget land. I am so excited to have this long awaited and needed conversation centered on budgets, that B word. So I am going to give myself some time and also being that it is live, uh, the opportunity for people to come and join us. And so if you will be watching this later on YouTube, you will understand um, the preface, excuse me, to this video. And again, we're going to give just a few more seconds, I won't say minutes, and we are going to get started. Let me ensure that we're live. I don't see the video, but it still says I'm live. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Y'all, we're talking about budgets. Oh, so much fun. So much fun to talk about budgets, but it's so necessary that we dive into this conversation, especially at the end of 2022. This is the fourth quarter, which is prime time for nonprofit organizations to really hone into fundraising and tap into the generosity that abounds in this season, especially here if you are watching this in the United States. This is the heavy fundraising season. So, okay, good. We're live because I cannot see this video, and I'm trying to be conscious that this will be on YouTube as well. But I can't see the video. So I am going to trust that we are live. Okay? I'm going to trust that. All righty. And I would also like to say that this video is sponsored by the Decision Makers Leader Circle. So this is a community started actually this summer, and I'm so happy to share this with you. What I have deemed as the most ambitious um, coaching group for nonprofit leaders. And if you are wanting and needing to be in a space to where you receive consistent consulting and be able to have an hour with me every Tuesday morning as you are launching and scaling your nonprofit organization. And if you want to receive this type of information in a group setting with other peers and decision makers, then you want to be in the Decision Makers Leader Circle program. Let me link this here so you all have, I know you're going to hear me clicking away. You all have the link so you can come on and join the circle. I am a fervent believer that in all our getting, we get understanding. And our nonprofits are businesses. And just as well as we attend professional development conferences, we are usually attending those conferences in the nonprofit space, uh, but we are not really getting the information that we need that pertains to nonprofit development. I know that lack because I am in those business spaces and I hear the conversations, and there are no conversations or very few that are centered around nonprofit growth and scaling and impact. Because again, we are businesses with a heart. If you are a nonprofit, but how does that translate to the work that you do every day? So that's what you learn inside the Decision Makers Leaders program. All right, so I have been going on for nearly 5 minutes, so it is time to get into the good stuff, and we're just going to trust that this video is Live. It says, oh, thank you. It is live. I cannot access it to share it to other platforms, but it will be posted on YouTube later. Um, so that will be taken care of, and I'll be sure to redo the link as well. So, again, if I have not introduced myself, my name is Shanquetta Cunningham. I am the CEO and lead strategist of Caris Group Consulting, where we work with nonprofits to disrupt narratives that nonprofits cannot be profitable. And we really take a look at the tools and systems that nonprofit leaders use to grow their organizations so that we can increase our income, that we can leverage our influence, and to also magnify our impact as nonprofit organizations in the communities. Because again, that is what it's all about. But we need income to get to the impact. And while, yes, there are models of every kind out there to with nonprofits, just like businesses, and every nonprofit will have its flavor. I do think that there are some general things that we must do in order for us to get to those higher levels of achievement and impact and income that's ready for us. But we have to get the foundation together. So, with that being said, we are starting our 4-part series based on budgets. Again, that strong B word. And if you are here, let me also ask, even if you will be on YouTube later, that if you want to share this video, I'm encouraging you, yes, share the video. Tag your board members, share with your team members and your volunteers. One of the things that I am heavy about and that I often share, especially with our nonprofit clients, is that if you are the only one that's accumulating this information, and not sharing this, well, you're going to get overwhelmed with all the tools and all the things that you are learning, but then we're going to falter on the execution of these things because we don't have anyone else to carry it for us. So share this information, tag your nonprofit leaders, or share this video with them. It will stay up um, for the duration of the series, but I'm going to have some few announcements made in the upcoming weeks. But yes, so it will be a 4-part series. But again, get your board members, get your team members, your volunteers, your board of directors, your co-founders, get them in this video now with session 1. It's going to bless you. And also, if this is your first time here with me, I am not your average consultant. Um, I'm really like a nonprofit evangelist. So I am definitely churchy when it comes to, while you will receive all the professional information that's within my capacity to give to you, because I literally search for information to bring back to my clients because I am a part of your success and your growth. I really do pray for you as well. I will also interject kingdom principles because I, as a consultant, and this does not make me exclusive to saying, well, I only work with faith-based entities. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the foundation of who you receive as a consultant through me is that I believe in kingdom principles. They just have stood the test of time. And so I interject that really kind of easily. And so I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll be this nonprofit evangelist. I've been called Mrs. Chick-fil-A because I'm always dropping nuggets. And so I am here with you, and we're going to just blend all of that into this great space because I am not your average consultant. And most importantly, because I do not serve average clients. The clients that I work with and the clients that we support through CARES are doing great things and tremendous things to serve the community and to make an impact. You're not average. We're not average. And so it's just a great combination of impact and transformation for our communities. All right, but let's get to the meat. Okay, so I have some notes here because I really don't want to get lost in this message of creating budgets, 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 budgets. And so one of the things that as nonprofit leaders, I want you to release yourself. If you haven't worked with a budget, it's been nearly 8 years of me doing this work, and for us working with nonprofit leaders all around, not just in Arkansas, but everywhere, thanks to the World Wide Web. And this is actually the first time we will be covering budgets. So I just want to free you up and assuring you that we are all in this progression of growth. But I think it's necessary that at this point and juncture that we cover budgets, because scared money cannot make money. Y'all catch that? Scared money cannot make money, and unstructured money goes fast. If you think about your own personal life and different things, we are growing up, especially if you're an adult, and you are recognizing things really quickly that we want a lot of things, right? Let's just say, with the example that you're saying, man, if I had $100,000, I would do so many things. And then when we ask you the specifics of those so many things, this is where the rubber meets the road. And you can look at that for your financial piece, in your own personal life, but bringing that over to the organization. What will $100,000 get you? And this is what I want to help you to define, so that you can go to your sponsors and go to grant funding entities and go to individual donors, and you have a roadmap to your ask. You know what you're asking for because you've already developed the blueprint, the budget blueprint for the request. And so, if you have never done this, if you don't have a budget, you're kind of just going with the wind, I am not here to judge you, because I also know that information inequity is real. I know that financial literacy has plagued many entities, especially in rural areas, especially when it comes down to minorities and different communities. And so I am telling you now, you could have been operating for the last 10 years and you have never had a budget. You are not alone. Again, I am just covering this subject. And so I just want you to know that this is your safe space as we talk about budgets. So let me also preface that I'm not an accountant, I am not an attorney. All righty. So that's my disclaimer. I am nonprofit consultant who want to add value to the work that you do, and hopefully that you will find the success in that, um, in your journey. All righty. Okay, we got that out the way. Okay, so this is also an important time, again, as you are going about your fundraising efforts, that we define our ask. And budgets, they are truly the roadmap to do so. Uh, with a budget, it allows us three things. It allows us to assess where we are, number two, what we need, and number three, what it will take for us to get there. So that's what a budget helps us do. One, again, where we are. It helps us to define what we need, and then what is going to take for us to get there. Okay? So our dollars need a destination. Our dollars need an assignment, that every dollar you raise should have an assignment. And we're going to dive deeper into that in parts 2 and 3, which will cover how to develop a budget. The first, our first session today that you're meeting me, we're talking about the mindset and the rationale behind the budget. Because believe it or not, sometimes as consultants, we will talk to nonprofit entities, or you will be talked to as if there is already an understanding of the why in a budget. And so this is not to dummy down information, but this really is to represent things that you may have missed or have not been privy to. Because again, as I learn more and learn about the needs of what best serves you, that is the information that Karis would like to share with you. That I don't have to sound and give you 50 different high level words to show you that I'm a professional, to show you that I have degrees. Because if you cannot implement it and execute it, it's to no avail. So this is why that, I want to take this path of developing and talking about a budget and mindset. That it is a roadmap, that it tells us what we are doing, it tells us how we are doing it, and then it also gives us that space to plan what else that we need to do to get to the next level where we want to go, and what our community needs from us. Because at the end of the day, disrupting narratives about nonprofit success is also meaning that we can incorporate business principles, and businesses have budgets. Nonprofits have budgets, and successful nonprofits have budgets, because again, it shapes their fundraising, it shapes their ask. It actually will make it easier for you when you go out and ask for money, because then you're not stumbling over the words when people are going to ask you, what do you need $100,000 for? But then you can articulate that and share with them. Well, we've broken it up and we know that it takes $40.28 per adult to get them through our GED program and the professional development, right? You are going to do the work so that you can help other people lessen their reservations, lessen their hesitations, but then increase their anticipation of why they should partner with you to do community work and to do these great things that you are doing with your mission. And it's a great exchange. And so that's what budgets helps us do. It helps us internally, but it also helps other people externally, because then as well they know that you've actually set the time to do the work needed to develop this roadmap, and that you are serious about being accountable, right, to with their dollars. And everyone wants to give to people that they trust, and that structure. So again, if you haven't started this process, no worries, you're right here in the right place for session one, to as we develop this over the next 4 weeks. So when we are starting our budgets, again, the mindset is we have to lose our fear of the B word. We have to lose our fear that, man, I don't know how to do it. Everything in life will progress, and everything that you do with your organization will evolve and will change. And so, even starting this process, it's not about the perfection of a budget, because it's like practice. As a former athlete, I can equate it to it in exercise terms, that our budgets are kind of like the dumbbells to our our athletic achievements. That it's not the dumbbells that is the goal. It's the tool that we are using. It's the running. It's the running the miles. It's doing the footwork, and it's right. It's all those things that will help us to get to the achievement of performance. But those are the things that people don't see you do. People don't see you develop your budget, but they will see the outcomes of the development. And so that's what the budgets are. It's our tool that we use. It's the running, it's the conditioning, it's the dumbbells, it's the weights, right? So when you go into this, don't fear it. Now you may dread it, because I'm not going to front to you like I'm a numbers person. I'm a social scientist, right? I'm a political science major. I like to study people and habits, that works collectively in systems, and how we can find the best value to benefit the most people. I'm a public admin major, right? So I'm soft sciences, all right? Give me English and history and organizational design, math. So it's not my most favorite thing to do either. But I like the outcomes. I love running. I love beating my time. In order to do that, I have to run, okay, to beat the time. So I like those results. Do y'all get it? I don't want to say too long on that, but you get it. Okay. So with our budgets, right now, as we are starting out, even today, you can start doing these. This simple thing is really on, um, and I'll get to that. But we're going to look at two different ways with our budgets. We're going to look at income and expenses. I'm not about to have all of these accrual and push down and formulas. We're going to start very basic. We have a column for income and expenses. And if you are a startup entity, one of the probably most challenging things is developing the budget. And we're going to dive into that, more thoroughly next week. But I just want to kind of give you a wraparound so you can go ahead and get a jump start on this. And then you can take a look at what we're going to develop. And if you want to get into the leader circle, which we will be diving deeper into this every Tuesday, join the leaders circle. I've already linked it to you so that you can really get access to this. And we go for an hour long, sometimes an hour plus, but we really dive into this. And so you're going to get it in pieces, but you can get it in full by joining the leader circle. So, but again, we're going to have income and expenses. Income, of course, is the money that's coming in to your organization. That's individual donors and grants and sponsorships, things that you are probably putting in as a founder. I get that, that you're raising, but that's income in the incoming funding. And again, I'm not trying to make this basic. If you are on here, you are a seasoned professional. I love application and execution. So we're going to start with the basics. Expenses are those things that the funds that you are shelving out of your nonprofit budget, right? Those things that you have to buy and those things that you have to purchase, and or the people that you have to compensate, right? So, we're thinking about Zoom account. If you have a Zoom account, and if we're thinking about some of the supplies that you've had to purchase, the fees that you're having to pay for for inspections or yearly inspections if you have a daycare, right? Those are expenses, the things that you have to purchase to put out. Now, what we want to ensure is that our income always is always higher than our expenses. It's like anything with our even our financial budget. And I know that when you're building or you're growing, things can get a little funny. And this is where the prayer and miracles from heaven function for your organization, right? So I definitely get that on all levels. But that is the goal, that our income outweighs our expenses. So now we can break down expenses some more, and I'm looking down at my notes if you're wondering what I'm looking at, because again, I want to ensure that I share all of these things in session one. That we can break it up into program. We can have a program budget. Those are the things that we do. You have a shower and shave program for the homeless, right? You have a pack a back snack. I'm just trying to think of things in programs. Those are programs that you do, right? And you give out backpacks to elderly citizens, widowed elderly citizens in the neighborhood. So those are different programs, the activities that you do. And then we have general funds. Those are the things that we are going to need to operate the nonprofit. We're paying for the monthly tech fees. If we're paying for the utilities, right? And just funds that you have that you're accumulating and that you're allocating, because as you're growing the organization, you want to have funds to be able to work with. And then from those general funds, you can distribute to programs. And to our third column, which we have administration. So your admin funds. This is where you are, maybe compensating, your executive director and You can even, have a project coordinator, but I'm trying to make it really simple so you can understand the different categories. I'm gonna put a hard asterisk right there that as we are growing, we know like businesses, you put more money into your nonprofit. And so sometimes the business owner doesn't take a salary for the first year or something to that degree to put all the money back into the organization. There should always, even as business owners, whether that's insurance being paid, or stipend right now, I just agree that there should be compensation for an executive director. This is not a volunteer, you know, executive director is not a volunteer position. And if you are doing daily work on behalf of the organization, again, I am not an accountant. I am not like this labor law expert, but I do know it's kind of like trying to have like have an IC, an independent contractor, as an executive director. Um, no, they're doing the meaningful and necessary duties of that nonprofit. So compensation, how you all have that conversation, whether that's part time or that's like, hey, these are the benefits that we can give you right now. Something needs to happen, but this is not like a volunteer position, your ED. Okay. All right. I'm off that tangent. Um, so this is how we'll start off on the budget. And you already have a document right now that can help you. If you're like, well, I don't know, I haven't been keeping up with my expenses. I get that. It's called your bank statement. Your bank statement right now can show you when you purchased the Zoom account, when you went and bought the supplies for the Father's Day, give back program, right? You have that documentation in your bank statements. And yes, you will have to go back through that. But thankfully, if most banks have it to where you can go month by month, if you have PayPal, they also aggregate, expenses, also income. You can go on the settings in there, cash apps. But every system that you use for banking and Zelle, however, Venmo, however you receive funds, already have done the calculations for you. So that's what you are going to put in your columns for your income and the money that you spent out. That's an easy way to start. So yes, it may take a little work, but that's what we also have to get through. This may be another hard tangent and hard stop, but with nonprofits, there's a mentality I see in some nonprofit leaders that this journey isn't work, and it is. It's like building a business. People don't have to do anything for you. You're going to still have to do the work to get the results that you need. You're going to have to dig in, so I hate that there is kind of like this unicorn mindset about starting a nonprofit, and that you just file your paperwork and then get a big grant and all your problems are solved. Whoever is just spreading that message needs to stop, because it's the absolute untruth. And it's really impacting our nonprofit leaders and their sustainability and longevity in this process, because they're just thinking daisies and roses when it's still work. You're just building a business with the heart as a nonprofit. So, and that's why we need a budget. And that's why we have to lose our fear of developing the budget, because we need this roadmap, just like businesses need a roadmap for their work. As nonprofit entities, a roadmap is needed as well. So bank statements will help, and also the statements from any way you collect money. And then the other tip I would like to give you, as we are developing the categories, step 1, 2, looking at the statements and all the different ways we've used transactions to pay for and receive money. 3, get some type of system to help you track this. Now, you can start with Google Sheets, Excel. Trust me, starting this business, that's what I did for the first few years. And then I evolved. This is no endorsement because I don't get paid. I'll tag QuickBooks though. But there are QuickBooks. I know there's other software. I know nonprofits also are having really great success by investing in TechSoup which gives you a discount on a number of budget software items that can benefit your nonprofit. I think it's like $99 or to $199 a year, but you get access to all of these other platforms, um, all because you have a subscription with TechSoup. I don't have an endorsement for that either, but I'm just sharing because I want whatever it is that can be of ease and access to you to get as a nonprofit leader and help you with this budget. I want you to look into that. So that's your homework for next week too. If you already have a system, great. Let's just review it and look at it. I'm going to be looking at some things on my end myself so that I can be in sync and tandem with you when it comes down to the budget and preparing for next year's budget. But also, as well, if you have not, let's start with Google Sheets. It's if you have a Gmail account, it's free. You can access that. Excel, if you have Microsoft, which again I think you can get through TechSoup, if you have a subscription to that. So if there's any other systems that you use, please drop it in the comments for your other leaders um, to check out as well. And with that, it is already 12:33, so I am at my 30-minute mark. But just to recap, remember, unstructured money goes fast, and we can't be scared to make money. We can't be scared to not have the systems and capacity in place for the prayers that we pray, right? We want the next big grant agency, I'm sorry, next big grant to come to our organization. We want this high value donor, but then we don't want to be accountable to how we steward our blessings. And so we have to do that. And creating a budget, again, it's not a perfect process, but the more that we do it, the more we exercise that muscle, right, the better that we get. And so this is just something that as that's been on my heart as a consultant, which I have really ran away from teaching about, just for some, some different reasons. But I care about your growth. I care about the impact that you make. And however I can help you do that, even if it's diving into this, which I know is not a popular thing, talking about budgets, it may even turn some people away because people are so fearful. But that's why I want to share this with you so you can release those fears. And so that we can ensure that our dollars have a destination. But if you want to dive deeper into this and join us on next Tuesday, because we'll be talking about budgets and sponsorships, because we are in a $10,000 challenge with the leaders in the Decision Makers program. We are in a $10,000 challenge right now that for our nonprofits to raise $10,000 by the end of the year. And I'm sharing with you practical steps and tools to do just that. So join the Leader Circle. Meet us at Tuesday. Yeah, it's 8:15 in the morning because I want you to be able to get the information and then implement it. And trying to do that at 6 o'clock in the in the evening. You're home with your kids. You're going to listen in. You're going to be excited, but then we're not going to execute. So we're going to get it. Early bird gets the worm, right? And if millionaires are still having early conversations for their success, guess what we're going to do? Success leaves clues. We're going to meet early in the morning. So get in the circle so that we can dive deeper into budgets. But until then, I pray that this information have been of some value to you. Share with your team, share with your board, and meet me again next Thursday, same time at noon for part two. We're going to really dive into how to develop a budget and categorize our expenses and our activities so that you can use this budget for the leverage that you need to raise the funds that will impact and transform your community. I'm Shanquetta Cunningham, and I thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day.